Hello and welcome to Simply Truthful, the podcast series where we bring you the thoughts of notable scholars about everything current in the news cycle. Please kindly click the subscribe button and the bell so you can be the first to know once we upload a new video. The title of today's episode is How the Cabals are Frustrating the Efforts to Set Up Local Refineries. Article written by Yukodike Chinedu. Massive import of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, using US dollars will continue to put pressure on the naira and cause further depreciation of the local currency, explains Chief Yukodike Chinedu, National Public Relations Officer, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, in this interview with Okochukwu Nodem, among other industry issues. The amount spent by the NNPC on petrol subsidies has continued to rise, depleting revenues intended for the three tiers of government. What are marketers' thoughts on this? The exchange rate of the US dollar against the naira is one point that should be clarified in this context. If you look at the dollar rate today, it is over N600 to $1 on the parallel or black market, and whatever affects this market affects purchasing power and consumption rate. If the dollar is worth more than N600 on the black market, and Nigeria is still heavily reliant on petroleum imports, things will be difficult for us in this regard. Nigeria is heavily reliant on petroleum product imports, and all of the refineries are still not operational, despite repeated government promises that the plants will begin production. What do you expect when the naira's value is depreciating on a daily basis? Nigeria will continue to subsidize petroleum products, which is currently static, and as a result, our naira will continue to depreciate because so many dollars are simply being deployed in pursuing products. The products we buy in Nigeria are purchased in naira rather than dollars, but we use dollars to pay for imported goods. So, when the government subsidizes the products, who pays for it? It is a method of devaluing the naira because our naira is now worth more than N600 to $1. The local currency no longer has strength, and this is cause for serious concern. Fixing the refineries is supposed to be our top priority, given the benefits to the economy and the country as a whole. Furthermore, the modular refineries that were supposed to be operational are not performing as expected. Currently, approximately 2 functional modular refineries sell diesel at a rate of N600/liter. Even when the product is locally produced, it is sold at nearly the same rate as the international market. As a result, the country must rethink its strategy. Nigeria's leaders should encourage the development of modular refineries. Second, even small-scale refineries should be encouraged to establish themselves in order to supplement the moribund refineries that we currently have. Nigeria can even build a brand new refinery from the ground up to assist us. We've been waiting for the Dangote refinery to open. But what difference will it make if it comes online? I'm led to believe that they will also buy crude at the international rate, refine it, and when this is done at the international rate, we may still buy it at the imported rate, though there will be some form of cost control. So there must be competition in the refining of petroleum products in Nigeria so that we can have alternatives. We can also reduce our reliance on purchasing petroleum products from outside the country, because any disruption in the international market has a significant impact on Nigeria. We saw how the Ukraine war affected us in the early stages when some cargoes became stuck. All of these factors must be considered because they are frequently the cause of product scarcity. And when there is scarcity, it takes a toll on the masses, and when the masses take a toll, there is inflation. These are the factors influencing our local market. Are marketers uninterested in constructing refineries, whether modular or large-scale? We considered it several times. However, I'd like to inform you that 11 companies have been pre-qualified to build refineries in Nigeria. And only 1 or 2 of those 11 are currently being discussed, the one in Anambra State and the one involving Dangote. Except for Dangote, who is nearing completion with his own, the pre-qualified companies have yet to deliver. Do you have any idea what challenges they might face? They complain about a slew of issues, including bureaucratic bottlenecks, government policies that are hostile to the establishment of such facilities, and security concerns. This is because the majority of these companies want to be certain that whatever investment they make in Nigeria is properly taken care of. They don't want to be in a situation where they invest money in Nigeria and then run into problems. You are aware that a few years ago, we had companies like Dunlop and Michelin manufacturing vehicle tires in Nigeria. However, insecurity and policy inconsistencies have driven them all away. These are the factors that keep investors away from this country. One of the most basic concerns is power supply. So why don't we hand over some of these refineries or collaborate with those who know how to use them? We have expatriates, both Nigerians and foreigners, who can handle these matters, but bureaucratic bottlenecks or cabals who profit from petrol imports will not allow it. Given that marketers are aware of these challenges, why are you not assisting the government in terms of petroleum product importation? We imported products some time ago, but getting our money back became a major issue for almost all of us who imported products at the time. Obtaining forex from the Central Bank of Nigeria in order to bring in products is fraught with bureaucratic red tape that we were unable to overcome. As a result, we became reliant on NNPC imports and authorized merchants. I want to tell you that Ipman has the capacity to bring in products, and we also have some of our partners and brothers in the Depot and Petroleum Products Marketers Association of Nigeria who are willing to give us their tank farms to store these products. However, many times, repatriating this money becomes difficult because, by the time you import the product and sell it, you will discover that the scarcity of the dollar has caused inflation, and you will be unable to obtain forex at the required rate for imports. The dollar required for the next import could be 10 times what it was when you first purchased the product. When you finish selling the product you imported and discover that the dollar is now worth nearly 700, how will you recover, or who will now bear the cost of the subsidy that you incurred? As a result, the dollar's rise and fluctuation is a serious problem. The recent increase in aviation fuel prices has also contributed to an increase in airfares. What is the cause of this massive price increase? This is also related to the currency issue, as aviation fuel is a petroleum product that is imported. The product is imported by the NNPC and a few dealers, and obtaining dollars has remained a challenge. That is why operators in the aviation industry are clamoring and asking the NNPC whether they can import Jita 1. However, whether they participate in the import of aviation fuel or not, the commodity is not produced in Nigeria, and such imports require access to the dollar. As a result, it will still come down to the same thing: you need dollars, and the price of the commodity will be affected by this. So the solution remains to refine our crude and get our refineries operational and competitive. Petrol lines are formed in Abuja and the neighboring states of Nasarawa and Niger. What could be the cause of this? It's because of a logistical issue. There are products, and I say this because if there aren't, queues will form in Port Harcourt and Lagos within 2 to 3 days. When there is severe scarcity, Lagos and Port Harcourt are affected. So the issue is one of logistics. There are concerns about gridlock in some loading areas as a result of the overlapping effect of what happened in the downstream oil sector a few months ago. However, I am aware that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited is doing everything possible to load products into Abuja and its environs. I want to be completely honest with you, because if you look at the majority of the barges of trucks that I have statistics on that have loaded between Port Harcourt, Calabar, and Lagos, you will notice that NNPC is giving more volumes and priority to marketers who load in these areas. You will also discover that trucks bound for Abuja and its environs are given priority in Port Harcourt depots. So I believe Abuja will be saturated with products by the weekend. Thank you for listening. Please rate, review, and subscribe to or follow the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.